Hello, my name is Ryan Freeman and welcome to the Love River in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, where I live and work as an English teacher and like to have a little bit of fun on my bicycle every now and then. Now this bicycle, which I bought at Giant when I first moved to Kaohsiung, it was the most useful tool and I got it for pretty cheap, like a couple $100 US. And I bought it new at the Giant store, and it just made my life so much more convenient. Now, there are some people who move to Taiwan, and they're afraid of using bicycles. I've met, most of them have been South African girls that were afraid. I'm not saying that there's something about South African women who don't like to bicycle, but I just met a lot of people, handful of people, that are afraid of bicycling. They're afraid of the traffic. I find bicycling in Taiwan is safer than walking because a lot of times with the bicycle, you can be in the street, you can be in the sidewalk, and you can go along with the flow of traffic. You spend less time in the street. I think just the more time you spend on these streets, the more likely you are to get hit by a car. I'm not trying to tell you guys that if you come to Taiwan, you're going to be dodging cars like Frogger, but you know, it does have a bit of a more chaotic flow of traffic, a lot more traffic violations than you might be used to if you come from a Western country or Japan. But I like the bicycle. Like I said, very cheap, bought it brand new. And the cool thing is, if you buy a bicycle from Giant, they will, for the rest of the bicycle's life, allow you to go in and they will do free adjustments and fill up your tires. So my tires were very low. I've been riding it with these half-filled tires for the past several weeks. Which is not safe, and I'll tell you this, guys. You may say, "Wow, Ryan, you seem like such an intelligent man." Actually, I'm not. I do a lot of stupid things, like riding bicycles with tires that aren't necessarily filled up, and it's just because I'm lazy, you know. And I've been meaning to go down here, and I finally did, and lo and behold, I forget his name already. Gavin. Jeez, I've already forgotten it, and I apologize if he's watching this video, but he remembered my name. He's like, "Hey, are you Ryan?" You know, I haven't seen him in 4 months. And he asked me if I had bought a scooter, because he knew I was like, good memory, huh? Good memory, good service. And like I said, a $200 to $300 US investment, and this bicycle was a game changer when I first moved here. I now do have a scooter, and this is another thing. Friend of a friend is looking to get a scooter license, South African guy, and he asked if anyone knew some information about how to get the test, and so I sent him some messages, and I hope he goes through with it, because as much of a game changer as this bicycle was, getting my scooter was a huge game changer, and it just makes living in Kaohsiung that much nicer. I love riding bicycles. I love walking too, but I think if you live in Taipei, you'll be fine without a bicycle, because the MRT and the buses and you know, just the whole metro network there is very efficient, and you can get pretty much everywhere. But in Kaohsiung, we have like 2 MRT lines, we have an LRT line, and we have the public bicycles, we have buses, but if you're not in a hurry, that's fine, but I do find even just having a bicycle to ride to the LRT or the MRT station, and you could park it outside the station, and there's like, of course there's bike theft all over the world, but there's very little bike theft here, and you just lock up your bicycle. Some people don't even lock up their bicycles. I have seen lots of unlocked bicycles just chilling. And no one will harass it. Your bicycle is very safe. People here are very respectful of property. I don't know if that's just something inherent in the culture, or if there are some very harsh consequences, you know, for people who fuck with people's bikes and scooters. Actually, I shouldn't say that people don't fuck with your scooters, because I have heard that in some busy parking areas, you know, scooters can get tipped over and pushed and smushed and scratched. So all I'm saying is no one is likely to steal your bicycle here. I talked to one guy who has a really nice bicycle, like thousands of US dollars, and he says he has no problems leaving it in front of a bar, going in and forgetting about it for a couple hours. So, but you know, there will still be theft, but it is comforting because, so this bicycle, I'm not proud of this, guys, and I think I've talked about this on the channel, but I got smashed one night. I've only had one night where I got smashed drunk. I usually don't go past the tipsy marker, but I got smashed, and the next day I couldn't find my bicycle. It wasn't where I thought I left it, and it was missing for over a week, and then eventually the security of my building found it because I kept accusing them. I kept saying, hey, look at your security footage. I think someone stole it. And they said, no, you're a busy teacher. You must have been too busy and forgot where it was. Well, it was outside the 7-Eleven. It was there for a week, not where it was supposed to be, parked in a scooter parking space, and it was a little roughed up a little bit, but no one stole it. You know, if I park this bicycle, a bicycle like this, in front of a 7-Eleven where I'm from, La Puente, Whittier area in Southern California, it would be gone in less than 24 hours. I mean, it might not even make 2 hours. So it is nice to live in a country where theft, as well as other crimes, like there's, I don't think I've seen any violence here. No, I don't think I've seen any real violence. I mean, you see sometimes, you know, with Chinese, sometimes it's a very expressive language. They like to yell and put some gusto in their words. But I have not seen anything even closely resembling a fight. Yeah, for the most part. So I wasn't really even going to talk much about this, but so yeah, don't be afraid to buy a bicycle. Use the U-bikes. Use the U-bikes by all means. I still use U-bikes. There are times where I don't want to ride this because, you know, U-bikes, you don't have to come back to your bicycle. You can leave it and then go off and then get another one at another location. But having a bicycle is really helpful. At first I thought it was going to be kind of too feminine to have a basket like this. But I've always wanted a bicycle with a basket. And I find that it's very useful to have one because when you go out shopping, you can throw your shopping bag in there. And I love it. I absolutely love it. But you're not going to be riding very fast. It only has a few different gears, but it's not really a speedster anyways. The scooter is fun, much more useful. You know, the natural evolution from a scooter is to get a heavy motorcycle, like a big, like a street bike or a cruiser or some other bike like that. But I've had a couple of those in America, and I'm just enjoying the scooter experience. No clutch, just automatic transmission, just jump on it and go. I love it. Or go up to a car. I don't want to get a car. I've had cars my whole life. You know, I had my first car when I was 15 and drove for all the time I was in America, you know. And I'm done with cars. I just want to enjoy the scooter experience, you know. And for me, this life in Taiwan is not necessarily about shooting up in material wealth or property, because I wouldn't be a teacher if I really cared about that. It's about the experience. You know, I like living in this country. I like living in a land where there's all sorts of things that I'm not necessarily accustomed to, and things where it's challenging me and delighting me in various ways. You know, things are similar. A lot of things are similar, but a lot of things are different. Like, here's an example. If I had a beer, and I wish I did. If I had a beer, although you shouldn't drink and bicycle, but if I had one, I could just crack it open right here. I could crack open an ice cold beer and drink it right in front of you, and I would have no paranoia that the police are going to bust me, because it's legal to drink outside in public. I was just drinking in public the other day. But if I was in America and I rode my bicycle to the park or to the river and cracked open a beer, you know how scared I would be? I would be terrified that the police are going to catch me. Because they will. They'll bust you. They'll bust you for public drinking in America. So I don't understand laws. In some ways, I feel so much freer being in Taiwan. Okay, I'm not saying that this is good, but with the bicycle, you should see what I can do in traffic. Crossing streets when I probably shouldn't cross streets. I mean, I can zip faster than a scooter short distance a lot of the times, because with the scooter, I'm not going to fuck up. I could kill someone. I follow the traffic laws. But with the bicycle, because you're kind of a pedestrian, but you can kind of go on the road, I end up zipping around pretty damn easy. And I don't think I would do that in America. I know I'm not the only one. You know, watch even people with scooters here. They do some crazy maneuvers to get past red lights and cut corners and all of that. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. I know some of you are still going to write down the comments, you shouldn't encourage bad driving. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying this is the milieu, this is the driving milieu that I live in. And it's just something that people do. Not saying they should. But, as I was saying, I feel a little bit freer here in many, many respects. As well as, I could just shout crazy stuff in English right now, and probably no one's going to understand me. Now, if you're a crazy person in America, and you're walking around the street and you're shouting out words, people are going to go, ooh, that guy's a weirdo. But here in Taiwan, if I'm walking around the street and I start doing something strange, people just go, huh, aren't Laowais weird? You know, foreigners are weird. Maybe this is a place that foreigners naturally gravitate towards, is being an expat in a foreign country, because your eccentricities are just sort of assumed to be part of the package of being a foreigner. I don't know. Okay, it's sort of a half joke, you know. I'm not really crazy. I have a job, I have a girlfriend, I have rent that I pay and utilities that I pay, but I'm telling you, all of my expenses here are so low. Of course, my salary is lower than it would be in America, but my rent and utilities are very low. Cost of living is cheap. I can't ball out I can't ball out and, you know, stay in 5-star hotels all the time and eat caviar and drink the finest whiskeys all the time, but I can live a pretty good life, and enough is as good as a feast. And like I said, a person who comes here to Taiwan, I mean, maybe there's a way you could get rich, you know, open up a business, open up some little niche market, but a person like me, and maybe a person like you, comes here for the experience. So what I'm just trying to say is embrace the experience, embrace the freedom, embrace learning new skills, such as riding a scooter, or jiu-jitsu. You can do jiu-jitsu in any country, but I was just talking with my jiu-jitsu friends yesterday, and, you know, we're trying to build our gym. If you're in Kaohsiung and want to try jiu-jitsu, come to the north side. Leave me a comment, say that you want to come, and you will be very welcome at our gym. A shout out to our coach Dave, the man with the plan. And this is life in Taiwan. Just doing what you want, having a lot, not just doing what you want, please don't take that the wrong way, but having some freedom, having some fun, not a lot of expenses. You might not be making that much money, but you make enough to enjoy your life and put a little aside, not to mention if you become a public school teacher, and maybe some private school jobs have this as well, but if you become a public school teacher, you will get a free ticket at the beginning and end of your contract. So I will be flying probably back to America. I will be flying back to America because I just found out I have to fly back to America. Initially, I thought I got a ticket anywhere. So I was gonna fly to like Europe or Turkey or India or South America, because I don't necessarily feel like going back to America right now. I was there last year, but I found out in the contract, and I had my friend contact the government, I have to go back to America, the country that issued my passport. So I will be going back to America, but I won't be paying for the ticket. so I'll be able to see my family, which is not a bad idea, and get back in touch with the roots of my culture and all of that. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. The poor Taiwanese and my neighbors have to put up with me. My students have to put up with me, but let me tell you, if you think I'm strange, you should come to one of my English classes. In fact, if you ever come to Kaohsiung, hit me up. I will take you as a visitor to my English classes. I took my sister Diana to my English class. She had a blast. They had a blast in meeting her. Some of my students are very strange. They are very, very bizarre and interesting, and I love them very much. I love this job, love this life. Not all the time. Sometimes I don't, but today I do. All right, guys, my name's Ryan Freeman. Bye-bye.